Guys, I'm about to take on a very difficult feat, and I'm going to do my best to tackle this feat because I've read this like 5 times, and I'm going to pretty much tell you what I've learned about the All-Star Game. Now, of course, we remember the tragic incident that happened on Sunday regarding one of the most influential men, not only in basketball, but in the entire world, in Kobe Bryant. So the NBA All-Star Game this year has been changed a little bit to give Kobe Bryant a tribute. And this is what's new. The first 3 quarters of the 2020 All-Star Game will have the score reset after each 12-minute period. Team LeBron and Team Giannis will compete to win each frame at a score of 0-0. The winner of each quarter will earn $100,000 for their charity, with ties resulting in the money being added to the following quarter. The score will reset after each quarter, so you're going to start all over from 0 as soon as each quarter ends. But the cumulative total still matters, which is where things get really weird. In the fourth quarter, the team's scores from the first 3 quarters will be added up, and the final score a team needs to reach to win the game will be determined by adding 24 points, which is the tribute to Kobe Bryant's jersey number, to the highest scores total. There will be no game clock in the fourth quarter. The first team to hit that point total wins. So if you're confused as hell right now, let me know in the comment section down below, because in my opinion, all they had to do, like all the NBA had to do in order to make a tribute to Kobe Bryant was literally have like one team be named Kobe Bryant, one team be named Black Mamba, one team wear all 8 jerseys, one team wear all 24 jerseys. That's all you needed to do. And then, of course, whoever wins, you could do this stuff on the side, but I feel like this was just such a confusing way to do things. So here, I'm going to try to explain it. There's examples here, and shout out to SB Nation because they tried their best to clear it up too. If Team LeBron scores 30 points and Team Giannis scores 25 points in the first quarter, Team LeBron's charity of choice wins $100,000. But in quarter 2, let's say if the score resets to 0-0, so Team Giannis could outscore Team LeBron by the same score, 30-25. And they would win $100,000 for their charity of choice. And then in quarter 3, if the same thing happens, let's say Team LeBron outscores Team Giannis 30-25 again, Team LeBron would win $100,000 for the charity once again. And then in the fourth quarter, the score from the first 3 quarters will be added up. In this case, it's going to be Team LeBron leading Team Giannis 85-80. Instead of a 12-minute game clock, the teams will play to a score. In this case, we take 85 points as the leading score and add 24 to honor Kobe Bryant. So the first team to hit 109 points wins the game. And I feel like the reason why they're doing this is, yeah, they're trying to pay a tribute to Kobe Bryant, but at the same time, I feel like everybody realizes this about the All-Star Game. Every year there's a problem where the first 3 quarters, the stars are just messing around, they don't take the game that seriously, and then the final 5 minutes of the game, in the fourth quarter, you'll see like the actual All-Star Game. You'll see these dudes really going at each other, really playing as hard as they can. But if they're trying to fix an issue of competitiveness in the All-Star Game, they should just do what I think the MLB does this. I'm not sure if they still do this, but I think this is a brilliant idea. I'm not sure. I'm not a big baseball fan, so if someone's a huge MLB fan, let me know in the comment section if I'm right about this. I believe whoever wins the MLB All-Star Game or the MLB Home Run Derby gets home field advantage during the World Series. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but that's how they make things more competitive, at least in the MLB. Now, I think it's still very nice that the NBA is doing everything they can to pay tribute to Kobe Bryant, as they should. You can never have too many tributes to Kobe Bryant. Words cannot explain not only what this man did for basketball, but what he did for all of us in our life. So, without a doubt, I think it's great, but I don't understand why they'd have to go out of their way to make things so complicated. I feel like they're trying to do something so they could also learn like how they should make the in-season tournament down the line. Lucas. But that's the first part of the video I wanted to get to. The next part of the video I wanted to get to is the All-Star reserves, and they were announced literally today. So I'm actually really happy about some of these players. We're going to talk about snubs later. Let me know in the comment section who's the most obvious and egregious snub as I'm reading these out. So here are all the All-Star reserves. You have Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, and Bam Adebayo making their All-Star debut. And without a doubt, Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram definitely deserves it. I can't believe it took the Stifle Tower this long to get in. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, we know the Utah Jazz have been just killing it this year. And then, of course, Bam Adebayo, he's just been such an integral part of that Miami Heat rise to the top. The Miami Heat just surprised everybody this year, becoming the second team in the East. So without a doubt, he definitely deserves it. I remember when he was drafted, everybody said that he was going to be a very raw talent, but I'm very happy to see Bam fulfilled his potential and made it to the All-Star game. Now, some repeat players that you may see as familiar faces, they've been to a couple of All-Star games before, is Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, Nikola Jokic, which pretty much takes care of the Western side. And on the Eastern side, you have Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Domantas Sabonis, Ben Simmons, and Chris Middleton. But not only that, you also have Chris Paul making it to the All-Star game. But here's the thing. There's some pretty insane snubs over here, bro. Some of these snubs make me bang my head against the wall. Some of the snubs from this year are Paul George, Bradley Beal, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Devin Booker. That is shocking. I cannot believe Paul George didn't make it. I can't believe Bradley Beal didn't make it. Zach LaVine, okay, but I can't believe Devin Booker didn't make it either. So I think probably the most egregious snub over there is probably Paul George, because he was an MVP candidate last year. And then he went from being an MVP candidate to a player that didn't even make it to the All-Star team. Now, I wonder if maybe it has to do with the amount of games Paul George played. Because this year, Paul George, he wasn't averaging what he averaged last year, but he's still averaging 23 points per game, man. He's still shooting decent from the field, 43%, and his field goal percentage is up. His PER is stellar. I'm very shocked about why Paul George didn't make it. It's probably because he didn't play enough games, and he currently is probable for this upcoming game, tonight's game against the Sacramento Kings. So I'm thinking that the reason why Paul George was snubbed could be, some early injury issues. Maybe he sat out too many games, but at the same time, you have to remember that a lot of times the NBA will snub a player like Paul George to boost up a player like Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell is definitely one of the young stars of the NBA. So if you have an opportunity to get him into the All-Star game, then you do it. But it's still shocking. Nonetheless, it's still shocking. Chris Paul made it this year, and I don't think he made it last year, which I think it's very fair, because last year, of course, he was taking the backseat to James Harden. The Houston Rockets were clearly on the decline. But this year, Chris Paul has definitely been a huge influence on the OKC Thunder, getting them to, well, they could be as good as 5th place in the Western Conference by the time this video comes out. And the fact that they practically have the same record as the Houston Rockets at the time of this video. Yeah, they have like 2 more losses than the Houston Rockets, but the same amount of wins. And that's despite trading Paul George and Russell Westbrook. Without a doubt, Chris Paul has a huge hand in helping the OKC Thunder do that. And again, I know I say this every time I talk about the Thunder, Sam Presti, their general manager, I don't care if he traded away James Harden. I don't care if he had 3 MVPs on his team, but they never ended up winning anything. I think he is without a doubt the most shrewd GM in the entire NBA. Now, I'm going to stop like going off on tangents here about each and every player. Let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think was the most egregious snub? Like, it just pops at you. Who would you take out to put in this player? Domantas Sabonis, I was sleeping on all season, so I think he was probably very surprising to include him in, but maybe there's something I'm not seeing that you guys are. I'm your boy, TheFlightMike, and enjoy the second upload of the day.